Rumble as a video platform, hosting platform versus YouTube, and how that, the benefits and all that as it pertains to me, so that people can understand why I have a Rumble channel, a separate Rumble channel, but also why you don't see me very active on there. Other than I do put all the same videos over there that I do here, plus extras, but you won't see me as interactive and doing as much in there, and I'll explain that. So obviously I started on YouTube because I don't even think Rumble was even around yet. At least I hadn't even heard of it at that point. I've been on YouTube for almost 9 years. And right off the bat, I thought I'd just try it. And right off the bat, I loved it. And I wasn't, I didn't monetize right away. I was kind of holding out. And it was probably about 5 or 6 weeks later that it was probably closer to 2 months that I did finally monetize my channel. And right away, amazingly enough, even though my channel was really small still, I was able to make $40 in the first month. Now, that's not very much money. But obviously, as you grow, you get a bigger subscription base, and where you make your money is on views. Obviously, I finally worked up to a point where I could, if I absolutely had to, could live off the income I make off of YouTube. And even though YouTube has changed their algorithms and made it so that now I'm making far, far less, it's 1/4 to 1/3 of what I once was making, the pay is still far better than I could ever make on Rumble, ever. So let me talk about Rumble benefits first before I go too much into that. And the reason why I have the Rumble channel was I actually opened an account there about 2 years before I started putting videos over there, just so I could have it ready to go if I needed to. Well, then all of a sudden, bam, my channel got a warning put on it and 3 back-to-back videos removed. And that was where I was talking about the benefits, which can be found on the NIH.gov, of a certain essential oil that comes from the pine. And no, I'm not talking about DMSO. That's what a lot of people's mind immediately goes to. This one starts with a T. They both come from the pine tree, though. So it's basically the essential oil of pine. And even though I did source the information from places like the NIH and other places about its medicinal benefits that have been used for centuries, suddenly the rules changed, and such things were no longer allowed to talk about on YouTube. So when that happened, I'm like, well, time for me to use my backup channel. So I moved the main video. I didn't put them all over there, but the main one that on that particular topic got moved over there. And so I figured, well, since I'm here, I might as well start putting some other videos up over here. Now, Rumble is kind of a pain when it comes to actually uploading, especially if you have really slow internet, which thankfully I don't anymore. But that was quite the hassle, because if your internet cuts out in the middle of an upload, you got to start the whole thing over again. It doesn't matter if it would just hit 100%. You got to start it over. And at that time, it could take 8 hours, 6 hours for a video to upload to Rumble. And so it was so incredibly frustrating, especially when that would happen. But I felt the need to put my videos over there, not only so I could have a place to put videos that were no longer allowed on YouTube, but also just to kind of grow that. And in case anything happened to my channel on YouTube, I'd have this backup place for where my videos could still be found. Of course, through the years, they've added more things to the taboo list. One of those being a certain precious metal liquid that we're no longer allowed to talk about. That was right around 2 years ago that was added to the list. Another one is you are not allowed to share alternative options to, and we're talking natural, healthy alternative options to store-bought baby formula for the sake of those ladies who, for whatever reason, cannot nurse their children. There's all kinds of things that can happen that can, or even adopted babies. There's all kinds of reasons why some ladies are unable to nurse their children. So I like to make that clear, because sometimes people will make moms who are unable to nurse feel really guilty for not nursing their children. That's one of the taboo things now. You're not allowed to talk about these alternative options, even those that were used for hundreds of years, in such an event where a mom could not nurse their own children. Having a Rumble channel means that I still have a place where I can have those videos, where people can find them and have access to them, since they're not allowed on YouTube. So my Rumble channel is always linked in the description. And if you go there, you can go to the playlist tab, just like how YouTube has a playlist tab. There's a playlist tab on my channel over there on Rumble, and you can go to the specific playlist that is, I think it's called Videos Banned on YouTube. So anytime a new topic or another video has to get removed from YouTube, it goes into that playlist, so that people can kind of scroll through there and see what the topics are. And if they're interested in them, they can watch them. So that is the benefit of having a Rumble channel. However, there was a short period of time where I actually got up to where I was making $1 a day on Rumble. Ooh, a big $30 a month. Now I'm down to an average of about 40 to 50 cents a day. That's the average. Some days 17 cents, some days maybe 75 cents on a really good day. So with that said, and my time being very, very precious, I only put as much time as I absolutely have to in my Rumble channel, just to keep the videos going out there so that they're there. Now, I will reply to questions under my Rumble videos, and I have it set up over there where I actually get email notifications. I don't do that with YouTube with comments, because I would get so many I'd not be able to keep up on them. So it's easier for me to scroll through the comments through my dashboard. Whereas with Rumble, it's easier for me to just depend on email notifications. As my time becomes ever more precious, I had to stop taking extra time of gathering Rumble video links, because what I do is I copy and paste the description box from YouTube over to Rumble. But then for a while, I was going through the extra steps, which could take a while, of them finding the Rumble videos and then switching out the YouTube link that I might have under there with a Rumble video link. And that just adds so much extra work when you're only making 17 cents to maybe 60 cents a day. It's just not worth adding more stress to my life. It's not even just about the time, it's about the stress levels. I've had to, and by the way, this is my topic for next week. I'm going to be talking about time management again, and the importance of prioritizing and cutting the things that just add, even if it's just a few minutes, even if it's just a little bit extra stress. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to stay healthy and to keep your priorities in the right place. So I know that probably sounds really selfish to some people. That's like, I just am not going to pour that much extra time into Rumble when I make so little for the time I pour in there. Because here's the thing, whether you're watching me on Rumble, whether you're watching me on YouTube, whether you're reading my Patreon post or my Substack posts, none of these things are behind a paywall. I don't have a members only on any of my channels. I don't hide my Patreon or Substack posts from people who are not donating anything. Everything is open for everyone for free. So I don't ask for people to donate money. I don't expect people to donate money. I do this work so people can have the information for free. So whether you're watching me on Rumble or YouTube, you're still getting it for free. And so when people get irritated at me for not taking that extra time over on Rumble to find all those links yet again, because I already had to take the time to gather them up for the YouTube, but now I'm expected to do it for Rumble too. And that's just something I had to cut. Just remember, I'm not charging for that. Just remember that by you watching my videos on Rumble, I'm taking a massive cut in pay, because I make far more money, even though it's still not a lot. I make way more money on YouTube when people watch my videos there. Because I've had people ask me this question, well, should I watch your videos on Rumble or should I watch them on YouTube? Well, there's your answer. Watch them on YouTube. My pay is better. And that makes it far more worth my time. So if you don't mind and you're not an absolute YouTube Google hater, please, you're doing me a favor by watching my videos on YouTube rather than on Rumble. Now, if it comes down to it and I have to shut down my YouTube channels or they get shut down, then yes, all of my time and energy will then be poured into the Rumble channel. And I can only hope and pray that I can make enough money off of doing that to make it worth it. Because if I can't, I'm going to have to find some other way. Because I like the arrangement I have where I can share information with people and it doesn't cost them anything but the time to listen. And they can even set, if it's a pre-recorded video, they can even, if they think I talk too slow, some people, believe it or not, think I talk too slow, they can always speed it up, and some people do. And if you think I talk too fast, you can slow down the playback speed as well. If you didn't know that, it's down in the settings, that little cog down there that you see at the bottom, just under the screen, you can do that. You can speed it up or slow it down. You click on that, you look for speed settings, and you can slow it down so it sounds like I've had a little too much to drink, or you can speed it up where I sound like a chipmunk. Whatever floats your boat. Mods are here to learn also. Well, good. Sometimes I feel like there's a lot of you that I really don't have anything that I can educate you on, because you already know as much or more than I do. But if nothing else, we sure enjoy the interaction. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out there, because I had someone get a little, lately I've had a couple people get a little irritated on Rumble at me for not taking that extra time to gather the Rumble links. I get it, but it also kind of frustrates me a little bit that I'm already doing all this for them to have free content, yet they want more of my time for free. And that's kind of a hard one for me. I'm trying to be gracious about it, because I know a lot of people just don't understand the kind of work that goes into doing these things. And they don't understand that my time is very valuable. And again, it's not even just about the prioritizing the time so I can spend time with, quality time with my grandkids when they're here, and not just be so absorbed in my channels and my work. I want to be able to spend quality time with them. So that means on the days they're not here, I have to streamline everything, especially now that we're getting into garden season, or we're in gardening season. And so there's a lot going on out there. All this last week, it was beautiful every single day. And so Patrick and I were able to get out there and get so much done in the garden, but that meant other things had to be put on hold. Okay. And that means work that I could have been doing on my channel. I certainly didn't have time to take the extra time for gathering Rumble links. So I hope people will understand and respect that, instead of trying to demand more out of my time. Because if that's the way it's going to be, I'll just quit doing the things that are causing more stress. And that might mean I'll stop putting my videos over on Rumble, except for those videos that I am not allowed to have on YouTube. Because as it is right now, I'm putting all the same content over there. But if it comes right down to it, it'll be, okay, well, I'm only going to put videos on Rumble that I can't have on YouTube, because if I can't make it worth my time and people are going to complain about the time I do put into it, then it's not worth it for me to stress myself out over that. I just want people to understand where I'm coming from. We all have busy lives. I know a lot of you that are taking the time to sit in here, or, you're probably just letting it play while you're doing work, and that's awesome. I appreciate the fact that you can do stuff while you're listening. And I appreciate that you just let it play. That does help me quite a bit. But we all have busy lives, and we all have to prioritize and balance out those things that are most important to us.